Welcome back to part 3 of everything I picked up in 2025 for my retro video game collection. This will be the top 10 favorite things that I picked up from this year. And I have a lot of great things. There's some GBA, there's some DS, there's some GameCube, there's some PS2, and one little accessory. So we'll dive right into it and get to all the top favorite things that I picked up this year. And hope you enjoy this. This is the final video in the series, and I'm glad whoever stuck around to watch all of this. I've had a lot of fun making them. The first game I want to show you was an actual impulse buy that I got at a toy convention. That this guy had a couple video games there, and I wanted it, and he gave it to me for really cheap, for 50 bucks. It was legit. But that is Pokemon Ruby for GBA. I was very happy to get this. I haven't had this since I was a child, and for the price point, I think he originally had like $80 on it, and I was kind of dancing the fence of like if I should get it or not, and he was just like 60 bucks, and I was like I don't know, man. I was like, because I was there for toys, like I was there for action figures and all that, and he was just like 50 bucks. I was like, okay, you've gone down $30. It's legit. It has everything, all the markings that it should be. There's a small little crack in the case on the side right there, but it doesn't affect play or anything, and to me it's perfect. So very glad to have Ruby in the collection. Like I said, I haven't had Ruby or Sapphire, which I still look for Sapphire, but I haven't had these since they first came out. So I've been having a lot of fun replaying through the Ruby series. Sorry, Ruby version, not series. The next game on my list is top tier. I did pay up for this because I just wanted it that bad, and that is Pokemon Soul Silver. I ended up getting this at my local video game store, and I did pay up. I did pay sticker price on it, but I really just wanted it. Like I've mentioned in my DS journey, that as a childhood I never had. This was the only DS game I had, and I played it years after it came out when I had got a 3DS. And this is my absolute favorite Pokemon game of all time. I think there's really nothing that compares to it, and it really justifies the big price tag that is attached to it. This is complete in box. It does not have the big box or the Pokewalker, so that will be something I will want to look for in the future. But I am so happy to have Pokemon Soul Silver in my collection. It is amazing, and I'm still playing through it again, and I'm probably like halfway through and enjoying every second of it. The next thing on my list is actually not a game at all, but more of an accessory. But I want to include it, and that is the Game Boy Player. I picked this up kind of out of random. I seen that someone had the disc with the player combo together, and I had just recently sold one of my guitars out of my guitar collection, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it, and I'm very happy that I did. This is like a prized possession within my collection. I love playing GBA and Game Boy Color and regular Game Boy games on the big TV. So this is like my preferred way of playing handheld Game Boy games. I just like to hang out on the couch and sit back and play some GBA stuff. So I've never had this growing up, never had this accessory in previous collections, like in recent years, or past years, I'm sorry. But I'm very happy that I was adding this to the list of things that I do own, because it is an amazing accessory. I'm just sad that it costs so much to get nowadays. This next game was actually big on my list. It's not an expensive game for whatsoever, but it is one of the big games I wanted to get for my PS2, and that was Bully. I had this game growing up. This is an amazing game. I was super excited to add this back into my collection. It's like GTA meets the schoolyard of a school. Like I like what they did with this series. I wish we would get a Bully 2. But Bully is like one of the best PS2 games of all time, in my opinion. Rockstar really did an amazing job with it. Please, Rockstar, make a second Bully game. I really think that a second Bully game would do very well. Like it, I wish it wasn't just like a one and done. So, but yeah, Bully. This pretty much kickstarted my PS2 collection. So I wanted to make sure that it was included on my top 10 favorites because this is the reason I have more PS2 games now, is because of this game right here. Number 5 on my list is F-Zero GX on the GameCube. I have never played an F-Zero game until the Switch came out with that, what is it, 99 something F-Zero game that came out for like Switch Online. And I was like, oh crap, like F-Zero is really fun. And so I ended up playing. I ended up emulating the Super Nintendo F-Zero game, but I was like, "Damn, it's really good." And I've heard this is like the best F-Zero game that was ever made. So I wanted to pick it up. I think I also got this at my local game store, and I'm not disappointed. I like the fast paced. I like the customization of things you can make on here. I like the music on it. I like the challenge. It is such a hard game in my opinion. I like racing games, but it doesn't mean I'm good at racing games. And this one definitely runs me through the courses, and it's super challenging. And also, F-Zero AX is like hidden within the game. You can get to it with action replay and all that kind of stuff. I've covered that in another video before, but I don't know. This game just kind of amazes me, and I think anyone who collects for GameCube should have the F-Zero GX game in their collection. Number 6 is a game on the GameCube that I discovered through Blockbuster, and I've never forgot about this game, and it kind of really got me into the series, and that is WarioWare Mega Party Games. I absolutely love the WarioWare games. I think they're so fun to play. It's so easy to pick it up and play for a few minutes, or even a long sit through of it. But it's such a unique game to play. I like the art style. I like the weirdness of it. I like the creativity of it. That quick action, quick pace of getting challenges done. I don't think that WarioWare games get talked about as much. I'm a huge Wario fan in general, so maybe that's why I like these games so much more as well. But WarioWare is the reason you know, or sorry, one of the reasons that I started collecting GameCube games. So I really wanted to have this back into my collection. So WarioWare was a must-have. This is definitely going to be had to be in the top 10 favorite things I picked up this year. If you have not played a WarioWare game, I highly, highly, highly suggest it. This next game is also a game that I discovered as a child and fell in love with the movie, and then I fell in love with the game. And it's another Rockstar classic, and that is The Warriors. This game is amazing. I love the movie. Big fan of it. I always have been since I was a child, and I'm very happy that my parents never sheltered us when it came to media and stuff. They let us watch really any kind of movies that we wanted to growing up, and they showed me this very early in, and this was such an amazing movie. And I had this game growing up. I had this on PSP and the PS2. That's how much I liked it back then. And even though I don't have the PSP version of it, I wanted to make sure I got the PS2 version of it. And it's so good. It's definitely, in my opinion, a PS2 holy grail. I know it's not like a crazy, super expensive game, but it's not cheap though either. But I think it's such a great game to have in the collection. It's so different. It pays nods to the movies, and the art style of this is really good. The gameplay mechanics is really good. So The Warriors is a must-have in my collection. I'm so happy to have this in here. If you have not played The Warriors, do not play it on the digital version for PS4, PS5. Get it on PS2. The digital versions are very glitchy and have some weird stuff going on with it, but the Warriors on PS2, if you can find a copy, pick it up, play it. I'm sure you would love it. Next game on the list, did not realize how much I was going to fall in love with this game. Never owned it previously, never played it previously, and that was Mario Kart Double Dash. I was really wanting to get into GameCube this year, and these were I love Mario Kart, so why not get Mario Kart Double Dash? Never played it, never owned it. Oh, I sunk so much hours into this. Like I've completed every single circuit. I've completed every single challenge. I've unlocked everything. This was a must have. If I was to ever get rid of all of this collection, this would be a must have to either rebuy or never sell. And it's more towards a never sell. I love Mario Kart Double Dash. It is my favorite Mario Kart Double. Sorry. It is my favorite Mario Kart of all time, and it if you haven't played it, you're doing yourself a disservice. I can't believe I've gone all these years without playing it. I'm so happy that I have this now. This is such an amazing game. You should definitely add this to your collection if you're a GameCube collector. This next game is probably the most expensive game I own, and I only paid $70 for it. And that is Chibi Robo on the GameCube. The reason I only paid $70 for it is because I had an Xbox Series S, never played it. I used it as a GameCube emulation machine before I started collecting GameCube, and it sat for a while. And then I started collecting GameCube games and getting real hardware and real games for it. And I was like, well, I don't really need anything for this Xbox. Like, I don't play anything else on it. I have my PS5 if I do anything. And so I ended up selling it, and all of that money went to trade-in value at my local retro store, and they had one of these, and I ended up only having to pay $70. Now I did pick up other games as well, so who knows? I could have got this for free and just paid for the other games. I can't remember the entirety of the math of it, but I was able to pick up this and a handful of other GameCube games at the time, and it was a $70 price tag for all that, the whole lot, and it was probably like 3 or 4 GameCube games. No, 4 or 5. Definitely 4 or 5. So I think $70 just for this is really good. So I'll take this. I've never played Chibi Robo. I just got interested in it from watching gameplay over on YouTube and other people talking about the game. I know there's a DS version. I think there's a 3DS game as well. So I'll have to check those out, but this is really fun. It's really unique. It's really cute. It's really fun to play around on. I like all the little challenges and stuff. So this is definitely my most expensive game in my collection, but I'm super happy to have it. And then my final game that's on the list. This, you've already seen my most expensive game. This is not a cheap game, but this also isn't a crazy expensive game. But this game is what kicked off my GameCube collecting. This was the first game I bought for the GameCube. This was the first one I wanted for the GameCube. And it's actually funny because this is my only player's choice game that I have my entire collection. It's before I put rules in myself to get black labels and everything. And that is Simpsons Hit and Run. I absolutely love The Simpsons. I mentioned in previous videos, I've had a Simpsons tattoo. I have a skull Bart and Lisa on my arm. I had this game growing up. This is an amazing GTA style game. It was one of those games that I kind of was watching people remastering it on their own, and I was like, oh man, I really haven't played Simpsons Hit and Run in such a long time. Like, I would definitely want to pick this up soon. And then when I was really thinking about going back into GameCube collecting, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get it. And it was the first thing I picked up. I think I got this and the GameCube on eBay, and it was shipped at this like about the same time. So it was a no brainer. It's an amazing game, and this is the reason that I have all these other games. And this kind of gave me the snowball effect of collecting, and I'm very appreciative to have this. Like I said, this is my only player's choice version game that I have. Everything else is black label that you saw before in previous videos, but I don't think I'm going to change it. I think I'm going to keep the player's choice, and it kind of signifies that this was number one in the collection. This is what started my 2025 journey all over again. But Simpsons Hit and Run, it had to be number one for sentimental reasons, as well as just the love of the game. So I had to put it in the number one spot. But that is it for the video. That was everything I picked up in 2025. Like I said, we had over 150 games this year, which is not crazy compared to other people, but this is what realistic game collecting looks like. This is a normal person collecting at a normal pace and not going super crazy with it, but crazy enough to make a video about 150 games showing off this year. But if you like the video, please give it a like and comment, and even hit the subscribe button if you're really enjoying my channel. This is something new for me that I want to kind of explore this creative journey, and I'm happy with the progress we're making so far, and I thank y'all so much for all the support y'all have given me so far. But that's it, man. This is 2025. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll have another one next year around this time and show you what I got in 2026. But this is Cameron, and this is Retro Carnage. Peace.